Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Carl. I am your host, Carl Zoellner. I got my cup of coffee with me this morning. It's a pleasure to have you all back again. I'm one of the attorneys at Anderson Business Advisors, and if those of you who are frequent watchers know we like to pick a little subject to address on each of these videos. Today, I want to talk a little bit about utilizing a nominee trustee for anonymity. So you can see our little headless guy we got here, who's our Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, could be. We use a nominee trustee in most cases so that we can remove our name from title. So most commonly, when I'm using a nominee, especially trustee, I'm using it on some sort of a trust. For the most common usage, we're looking at using a nominee trustee on land trusts, which are just grantor trusts we use to hold title to properties. So you have a couple choices when it comes to nominee on who or what you would like to use for that nominee trustee. Number one is you could use a friend or family member who's not you, and they could be your nominee trustee. You could use an attorney. You could use anybody who's qualified as a trust company, or you can even use an entity you set up yourself to serve as trustee. There's lots of questions that usually revolve around, well, is that legal? Yes, it's legal. Does it have to be registered as a trust company? Usually not, unless there's some sort of profit motive or they're charging for the service. So if it's your LLC you're setting up in a friendly state where you can do that with some anonymity, then you can actually have an entity that serves as that nominee. So where we used to see, and when you title a property in the name of a trust, it looks like, say it's one of my properties. Say it's 123 Main Street is the property, and I name my trust that. Normally it would look like Carl Zoellner as trustee of 123 Main Street Trust. When I use a nominee, let's use Clint Coons for this example, since he's one of the founding partners. It would look at, like, if Clint was serving as trustee, it would look like Clint Coons as trustee of 123 Main Street Trust. When I add that nominee or that separate party, my name now disappears. So that's why we like to use the nominee trustee. Going through the scenario again, where you would originally seen my name as trustee. Now if I use, let's call it 123 Main Street LLC as the trustee, okay? So now, where my name would have been Carl Zoellner as trustee of 123 Main Street Trust, now when I'm using an entity, the other side of it now looks like 123 Main Street LLC as trustee of 123 Main Street Trust. So if you want to see some confused faces on attorneys out there, if you start titling your property or properties that you're going to put into a land trust like that, you'll probably get the sort of Labrador head tilt when they start looking at it, trying to figure out who owns it. So that's one of the options that's out there. Wanted to chat about it a little bit. We get a lot of questions on who should I use for my nominee trustee. I would say it's either a party that you should be very familiar with. If you're going to use an individual, not an LLC, my suggestion would be LLC, but if you're going to use an individual, make sure you get them to sign a trustee's deed. People tend to, unfortunately, pass away, move away, these sort of things, and it can be hard to work with these land trusts without having control over the trustee. So my suggestion would be use an LLC as trustee. You'll have complete control over the LLC. You can do anything you need to, and you still accomplish the goal of pulling your name off title. So until next time, thank you all for joining me for this episode of Coffee with Carl. As always, I'll encourage you to keep taking advantage of all of our free content that's out there. If you haven't been to one of our virtual classes yet on asset protection, structure implementation, tax-wise, even our nonprofit classes, I encourage you to take advantage of that. Sign up. It's fun. They're short now, so they're only about a day long, but it's a great place to get information, as well as, of course, our YouTube channel where you found Coffee with Carl. Toby, Clint, Michael all put out great videos, as well as one of my colleagues puts out videos. Her name's Tony. She does Tony Talks. So we love educating our clients. So until next time, it was great having y'all. We'll catch you on the next episode of Coffee with Carl. Thanks.